Okay, so my van has the 2014 Volkswagen TDI engine swap, and it's pretty common that the newer pedal just gets taken out, bolted to the firewall. And I mean, from this perspective, it looks like it's pretty good, but when I'm sitting there, it's terrible on my ankles. Let's see if I can show you this. My foot on the gas, I mean, even from here, it doesn't look terrible, but you're forced to sit. You'll just see once I get the factory gas pedal in. It's going to be at a much better angle. I've put about 3,000 miles on this pedal, and there is, my entire right side of my body is sore from my butt to my head because of muscle pain from pushing on this pedal. So we're going to fix this. We're in here on the lift, gas pedal. Oh man, you can't even see. Hold, where's the light? Where's the light? Right here. Oh, no, I got this one right here. There we go. Alright. Oh man, where are those bolts at? You cannot see them from this angle. There it is. Right there. That's one, the top bolt for the gas pedal. The other one's way behind it, and the other one's further down. So I gotta take the grill out and one light just to get to the gas pedal bolts. Okay, so nubbins on the bottom of the pedal. That one.
Yep.
And now this one. Okay.
Picture the part number, even though it's not all there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. 101.
Okay. Yep. So now what you have to do on this is you want to cut all this away because it's a swedge fit on there, but basically just start breaking this away because it's like cast into this piece. So
it's not easier just to remove it and then bust it out?
You can do that, but you got to be careful because it's a swedge fit and it's locked on there. And you can fuck up the. So you can try. But if you do, you loosen this up a little bit, and then take and hit that while holding this.
Oh, okay.
To knock it loose.
Yeah.
But it's just as easy to leave it on there. You'll see once you get it broken off, you grab it because it's cast into like there's ridges.
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
And then you will take that bolt off to mark it. But see, then this, it's like that, mounted under there.
Right.
We'll see it was on there like that, right? Yeah, like this.
Yep.
See, because then
bolt holes all line up,
so that when you push it, throttle.
Oh.
See, instead of it coming this way, you go that way.
Oh, I see. You're activating the whole other side of it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much using a hacksaw and a little pair of pliers and just kind of cutting grooves and pulling off pieces and cutting and trying to get it apart. So we'll see how this goes. I've got out my flush cut dikes and started cutting into it. So these little recesses, this recess, oh man, hold on. There's a recess here, a recess here. They keep going around, so the plastic's molded around it. But that means since nothing's actually sticking out, I'm just gonna saw down, straight down, cut that off. There we go. I got it removed. So the dikes and the cutter here were what worked the best. I just cut the entire arm off and then used the cutter and pinch little pieces at a time. You can kind of see where the hacksaw nicked it a little bit, but it'll be alright. Putting a flat bar over the top. So that's what I'm working on next. Fabricating the adapter arm. Okay, so I made my bracket. It's 3.5, well, okay, so just shy of 3.5 inches center to center. It's 3 7/16. I drilled 1/4 inch holes, and then I put thread locker on this bad boy and put that down, and then I drilled a roll pin. I kind of missed. I wanted to drill it in better than that, but it works put a little silicone on it so it'll be nice and tight. And then this is the factory gas pedal, so it's going to sit directly beneath the gas pedal underneath the van. This rod's going to go through there. You push down, it'll push it right down. So now onto the wiring. Let's set this up. So the wiring was hanging here, and I traced it out, and they ran some wires through where that's where the gas pedal rod needs to go. So I got to find out what these wires are and move them. But this one of them at least, is the gas pedal wire. So I'm going to pull that through, figure out the rest of them, and then get the gas pedal mounted back from the factory down here. Okay, so I traced and removed 3 of the wires. One set of wire was for the boost gauge, one set of wire was for the exhaust gas temperature gauge, and then there was a set of wires for the race capture, which was the tablet-based gauge setup before. This last wire here is for the digital gas pedal, and I can't get this connector pin through that hole down there. So I'm trying to untape the previous builder's work to see what's up. It's interesting to note that this is a 6-pin connector, yet they're only utilizing 3 of the wires. And then this wiring bundle down here is some shielded, I don't know, it's pretty fancy looking stuff, but I wonder if they double looped them together to make the gauge thick enough. I gotta go get something to cut this tape apart. Okay, I got all the tape cut off. So they're using 3 of the wires, and then they used some, I don't know if it's shielded or not, but it's 8 individual thin gauge wire, and they doubled up to make these 3. So since the connector won't fit through the hole in the floor, I'm going to end up replacing that. I'm not a fan of that. So I'm just going to cut it right here so I don't have to splice into those jillion wires. But I'm going to cut it right here, send it through the floor, reroute it, and we'll deal with the wiring later. I want to get this pedal mounted in. Okay, so bear with me. I know this is an interesting angle. You can see there's the throttle pedal coming through the floor, and these 2 screws here are the screws that mount the bottom of the throttle pedal. So I need to replace this one here with a through bolt and nut. And the first 3 holes you see are the mount for the digital pedal, and one up top that I'm going to need to drill into the body. Those 3 I have to drill, and then if you get a really short head bolt, you can clear this hole right here. There's a little bit of clearance in the corner of the body right there. So I need to replace this with a bolt and drill a few holes, and we can mount this sucker in there. We'll be good to go. Oh, and reconnect the wires that I cut. Okay, I sprayed a little spray paint up there because it was a little rusty, and I misspoke when I was explaining this adapter plate earlier. So I drilled out the floor a little bit so that the M6 would fit. I'm going to drill this one out as well because it's wiggling. That's not a secure screw. So up top, there's actually a spot right there. You can see the hole. You just put a self-tapping screw in there. I have to drill those through those 2 screws through to the body. And then this one here, I put a permanent marker through the hole and just love tapped it with my ball peen hammer a little bit. And I'm going to put a low clearance headed nut up there, and we should be good to go. So I used a 3/4 inch self-tapping screw up there and some M6 hardware here. I had to drill 1/4 inch hole here, 1/4 inch hole here. There's going to be a low profile bolt head behind there, and also a low profile bolt head behind here, because this is just some insulation or sound deadening. And then I drilled a hole in the floor there. So now I'm going to take it down and put the pedal on and put it together. Alright, so I put it in the vise, and I used, these are M6 16 millimeter long with a nice flange washer, and then I put my spike in there so that the bolt hole is nice and perfectly centered. Where'd it go? Yep, perfectly centered. And now we're ready to install it in the vehicle. See how it works. The only trick I'm not sure about is how much effort it's going to be to hook the throttle pedal lever into this new arm I made. Okay, and there it is, installed. So the little plate that I made right here, I had to put an S-bend in it. I don't know if you can see it. The rod coming through the floor is still kind of contacting the edge there in the lower corner, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments, but it is 11:30 p.m. and I want to go home. It works, so we're going to call it good at that. And check out how it looks. Totally different than before. And there it is. We'll see how it feels, and I'll report back tomorrow. So, woke up to a little evidence of rain last night, and I definitely need to pull the windshield because the seal is a little less good. It's a puddle of water coming down. So, I gotta get that fixed. So, back to my gas pedal swap. I've been driving it for a couple days, and the pedal effort's terrible, and it makes that steel rod you can see that's brown there squeaks every time I push down the gas pedal. The reason it squeaks is you see it contacting the hole in the floor, and also the gas pedal's pushed over pretty far to this side. So this could happen to somebody else. If you end up with the Mark IV pedal already installed as mine was, and you're trying to switch back to factory, this little rod right here actually clips in, and it's clipped in 180 degrees out. So I'll take it apart and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, now that everything's all loose and unbolted, let me, there we go. So, what I was talking about, see how this is clipped in here? That's actually clipped in backwards. Let me see, I'm gonna have to set this phone down. Okay, I literally just popped it out, clipped it, unclipped it. Now that it's facing the other direction, let's see. When I install it, well, you know, can't get it in the hole. And then you go down here. Oh yeah, that'll look much better. Centered. Okay, I'm gonna put all the bolts and everything. We'll see how it does. So now the other thing is that since I had the rod backwards, this custom bend is backwards, and the plate actually needs to go swoop and be out here, not way in here. So I'm gonna bust this back apart, flip it over, and reinstall it. Wait, flipping it over is not an option because of the hole I drilled in it. I guess I'm gonna take it out and rebend it and then reinstall it. Alright, we got it now. So this is looking at it as how, that's looking at it how it's gonna be literally underneath the pedal. so the arm is bent slightly away from the bracket, and then this bad boy, to get it in there, I'll show you how to take it out. So from behind, hook it in there, and it's going to come up through the floor and clip in just like that. So we have to install it with this rod and clip the rod in later. Let's see if I can hold the camera and show you this trick. Put that up and through, and then so you get that up and through the hole. Should be able to. Oh, well, first up and through, and okay, not fun. Okay, so like I said, just twist it, put it up there. You're gonna put the back bolt on, and then get the drill driver and put that screw through the hole. Oh no, the screw through that hole right there. Get it mounted. Okay, now from the bottom, I got this bolt tightened, tightened the screw. I still haven't done this one here. I'll get that one later. Electrical's plugged in. I'm gonna go clip the rod in place and test it, and that should be good. Okay, I'm finally happy with that. Oh yeah. And there, now we have a nice factory comfortable gas pedal in our van.